Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Aham Padarthaya Shivaya Paramatmane Namaha. Ya Maya Madhukaidapa Pramadini, Ya Mahishonmolini, Ya Dhumrekshana Chanda Munda Madini, Ya Rakta Bijashini, Ya Sashumbana Shimbadarbadalini, Ya Siddha Lakshmi Para, Sa Chanti Navakoti Murta Sakita, Mampadu Vishveshwari. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sadashiva-samarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryandam Vande Guru-paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Punaktu Sakaviryan Karavabhagai Tejasvina Vadidamastu Vidvijabhagai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Om Aingara Hrinkara Ragasya Yukta Shrinkara Gudartha Mahavibhutya Omkara Marma Pradibadinibhya Namo Namah Shri Guru Padikabhyam Bindu Trikona Vashikona Dashara Yugma Manvashra Nagatala Samyuda Shodasharam Vruddhatrayam cha Dharani Sadanatrayam cha Sri Chakrametate Utitam Paradevadayaha Bhumau Padana Bhumireva Valampanam Tvayijada Aparadhanam Tumeva Sharanam Shive. Om. Good afternoon. I hope you are having time to practice the verses, especially the prayers, the 2-3 prayers that we sing in the class. They're very good. They consolidate the essence of Sri Vidya Upasana, Guru Upasana. So it's always nice to recite those 3 verses first before you practice Soundaryalahari. We saw in the last class Kirantim Angepya Kiranani Grumpam Rudarasam Uditva Madatte Himagara Shila Murtimavayaha Chasatpanam Dharpam Samayadi Shakuntadi Baiva Viraplushtan Drishtya Sokayati Sudha Dhara Siraya. This 19th and 20th, this 20th was and 19th, are pinpointing a particular siddhi, the prosperity, the bestowal that you gain by doing the dhyana of that one. So, Kirana Grumpa, so when you are now the disciple, the upasaka, has come to the stage where he can worship the Ambal in his heart. See, here we are talking about Samayachara of this 3 Sri Vidya Marga, Kaulacharam, Vamacharam, Samayacharam. Kaulacharam and Vamacharam is predominantly in the north part of the India. Samayacharam is highly Vedantic view it is. Samayacharam is what Bhagavan is giving in this. So, in the Samayachara, everything is adhyatmik. You worship Ambal within you. Of course, there is a lot of bhavana needed, a lot of kramas needed. I cannot just start worshipping within myself to God because I never seen my body as a temple of God. I abused it, misusing it, both body, mind, intellect, the complex that I have. I have never made it worship worthy. It is not a pujyashri. So, therefore, if you have to follow up the Samayachara, which does not require many external rituals to do, but then you need to get a qualification to be that. The mind has to be pure and the intellect has to be steadfast. Shraddha has to be prominent. The Guru's guidance is needed and all that, so on and so forth. Someday we will gain that. No worry about that. So here we don't really require a particular siddhi, even though we are embroidered in the domestic affairs. The lokam is actually giving us a lot of hardships. Our karma vasana also comes there. So it is natural that we look for a mantra or a shloka so that by the prayogam of it, you get some benefit. Absolutely fine to have that approach. But here in this satsang, what we are learning is to transcend all these material pleasures of life. You know, it's like when you are preparing to run the London Marathon next year, the preparation that you do is good enough for you to beat me in a game of squash because you'll be so fit. It's good enough for you to jog for 10 minutes because you're preparing for a bigger run. Therefore, the natural byproduct is that you are fit for many things. Like that, when you have a nishkamya prarthana, aradhana, and worship in adhyatmic way, worship in the sake of worshiping alone, not for asking anything, what happens is the compassionate mother fulfills all your desires without you asking for it. That is why, we've been going through this 15, 16, 17 for the Icha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, then Vashikara Shakti, then Garuda Shakti of removing all the poisonous ill wills from our body and mind. We didn't ask for it, it comes to you. Therefore, you become a Satpurusha. Satpurusha. If you see a Sat, so whenever you say things comes true. Not that you know some foretelling or forecasting. No. You are as naive, as innocent as a child, but you say something to happen, and because you said so, it happens. That's why the great gurus, jnanis, their vakyas become truth, not because they are telling you, they are forecasting what's going to come. They don't know that. Some words utter in their mouth. Even that is not their responsibility. If a guru or Swami says, I told you so, it will happen, then I think he's in a fall. Through him, like a radio wave comes through a radio, good thing comes to you. Why I'm saying this? Because the Sadguna Visheshan is the Sthapakasthan. That's where all these things, dharmas comes and reign there. So that is what is going to come in the next mantra. So let's see the next one. taṭillēkhātanvīṁ tapana-śaśi-vaiśvānara-mayīm niṣaṇṇāṁ ṣaṇṇāmapyupari kamalānāṁ tava kalām mahāpadmāṭavyāṁ mṛdita-mala-māyena manasā mahāntaḥ paśyantō dadhati paramāhlāda-laharīm taṭillēkhātanvīṁ tapana-śaśi-vaiśvānara-mayīm niṣaṇṇāṁ ṣaṇṇāmapyupari kamalānāṁ tava kalām mahāpadmāṭavyāṁ mṛdita-mala-māyena manasā mahāntaḥ paśyantō dadhati paramāhlāda-laharīm. Tadit-lekha tapana-śaśi-vaiśvānara-mayīm niṣaṇṇāṁ ṣaṇṇāṁ kamalānāṁ api upari. ṣaṇṇāṁ api upari kamalānāṁ niṣaṇṇāṁ. Tava kalām, your art, your form. Mahāpadmāṭavyāṁ. See here, this is mahāpadmāṭavyāṁ. Atavya means forest. Adavi means forest. Mahāpadmāṭavyāṁ mṛdita-mala-māyena. mṛdita-mala-māyena. manasā. Manase. mahāntaḥ. paśyantō. paramāhlāda-laharīm. Dadhati. So this, see, whenever it will come to you naturally when you start learning it. Poetry, Samskrita slogas, it's called Anmaya. You have to split this, padachedam they call it. You split the words into different parts. Of course, you should know the Sandhi rules. It will all come. So you find out the verb, kriyapadam. Here, paśyantō, dadhati. Dadhati means attained. In Bhagavachanam, they attained. Who attained? What they attained? Why they attained? How they attained? When you ask all the questions, then the words will come and they fall into the poetry. That's how you'll find the kriyapadam first, post the question. Someday we'll go through it for that. So here, the important in this mantra, this stotra, paramāhlāda-laharīm. We are studying Soundaryalahari. Lahari means waves, flood. We chose to take flood as a thing, flood of waves. And we also know from the scholars' comments, the first 41 slokas are called Soundaryalahari or called Ananta-laharīm. Even though it's called Soundaryalahari as a text, the first 41 is taken as Ananta-laharīm. And the reason they say, besides the legend of it came from Parameshwara himself and all that, it is because this 41 contains a lot of details about the upasanas, yogas, and then gives you the ultimate objective of that upasana, which is paramānandam, supreme bliss. Therefore, just to show the importance of that, the 41 text is called Ananta-laharī. But don't get confused because there is another text called Ananda-laharī by Bhagavad himself. That's a different thing. So it is Soundaryalahari, Ananta-laharī. Doesn't matter. But here we use the word paramāhlāda-laharīm. What is ahlāda-laharī means? Ahlāda means also unblemished, absolute bliss. So it is also Paramanandam. So dadhati, so they attain, what they attain? Paramāhlāda-laharīm. Paramāhlāda-laharīm. Supreme bliss, after which you need nothing. You don't need any karmas, no upasanas, no jnana vicharam, no God. Because you are in a divine state. You are in that absolute bliss. Nothing you need. You are a paripurnatva. That's what you get. Is that not our aim at all in life? Without you knowing it, there is always every human's life aim, Because we don't know there is a paramāhlāda-laharīm, we look for the sukham. We look for having a beer, having a sweet, having a game of golf, writing a poetry or singing a music. We find some pleasure there, but slowly, they all take it away and say, look, you attain this. Okay, they attain it. How do they attain it? See the word meaning, then we do tatparya. taṭillēkhā. That lekha means what? Lekha means rekha. Rekha means what? A line. A thin line. A straight line or thin line. taṭillēkhā means a flash of lightning like a line. A ray of lightning. So, what is that lightning? Tanvīṁ. Tanvīṁ means that comes and goes like a pure white light. What kind of light it is? tapana-śaśi-vaiśvānara-mayīm. Mayīm means, mayīm means made of, function of, modified as. Okay? We say, I'm in a briefing mode. So mayam means that we change. But here it is tapana-śaśi-vaiśvānara. Tapana is sun, sunlight. Shashi means moon, moonlight. Vaishvānaram. Vaishvānara is, we have the Vaishvānara fire. We have this one. Vaishvānara is the Agni. So in Vedas, Agni is very prominently worshipped. Agni is the main devata in Vedas. Agni is that which gives the power of consumption, power of illumination, power of transit. Agni mele prohidam. There Agni becomes the broker, a gatekeeper to take you to the heavens. Agni is what you do to worship God. Because Agni always goes up, never comes down. Pure, ultimate consumer. Anything you can give it to Agni. At least water will reject oil, like that. Everything rejects something. Agni, you throw anything and it converts whatever you give it to him to itself. Is it not? So that's why Agni is called knowledge. Agni is called Guru. Agni is a Rudra. Agni is a Parabrahma. But the Agni also is in the sun and the moon. So that's why in Shiva's Netra, Ambal's Netra, he says Surya, Agni, and then Surya, Chandra, Agni. Of course, in some picture they change it, but it doesn't matter. Now, why they say the three parts? Tapana-śaśi-vaiśvānaramayīm. In our stostrams, we see sun whenever is projected, it shows absolute illumination, brightness, freedom of darkness, destroyer of grief, knowledge, power. That is sun. But still, you cannot see the sun. Even when it is coming, rising, you can maybe see it for some time. But once it rises up, you just can't see sun. You need sunlight, but you don't want the sun to be looked at. So it's become unbearable. So, but we need the light. But we can't have just that scorching heatness of it. Then moon. Moon's light is always cool. It is sometimes calming your heart, or sometimes agitating your heart. Chalanam, it's a mind. So when the sun is rising and makes me go to office, do work, it gives me transactional, momentum, kills my inertia. Moonlight I prefer in the evening, comes back, calming me down, nicely sitting down, relaxing. So I need the coolness of the light. I need the brightness of the sunlight, the coolness of the moonlight. And what does the Agni do? Agni I don't see. When I see Agni, I see the color of fire. But Agni is that which is inside the fire, that makes the fire what it is. What is fire is? It is that which pures everything else. So the purity is Agni. That's why we put the ultimate cremation is to put this body into the fire. Let it purify. Because I am returning back this body to the Panchabhutas. My body is made out of these 5 elements. I have a debt. I need to give it back to them. So you cannot therefore abuse this body. You need to give it back to them. So when you give it back to them, you need to give it to them purely. But I have no purity because I've done so much of sins in my life. Therefore, in some of our rituals, when we are dead, our body is burned. Of course, you can put water, earth, some form of purification, but this is ultimate. So we hear this, coming back to this mantra, sloga, the light of sun, the coolness of the moon, the purity of the Agni, all mixed together in this lightning that comes in. So even though it's a flash only, I can able to see it because it is not like scorching sun. It is cool. The moment it sees me, I see it, I become pure. But it is very, very mentally, it just comes and goes. Okay, where does he see? ṣaṇṇāṁ kamalānāṁ api upari. Kamalānāṁ api. Ṣaṇṇā means, Shad means 6. Ṣaṇṇā means 6 of those. What is 6 of those? These 6 chakras. Your Mūladhara chakra, Swadhisthānam, Manipuram, Anahridam, Shuddhi, Ajna. You don't have to remember it, but I think it's nice to know it, to recollect it. Ajna comes to your forehead. Mūladharam is in your rectum. In between all those other things. These are all bhavanas, power points, power positioning there. So, but it says, ṣaṇṇāṁ api upari. ṣaṇṇāṁ kamalānāṁ api upari. Kamalam means lotus. The 6 lotuses, that means the 6 chakras, above, api means above, upari, above top of it. That means it is not here, it is here. Means what does he mean? He means Sahasraram, the 7th chakra. We don't normally, the good teachers don't teach you the yogas to raise the Kundalini beyond this Ajna chakra. Because the moment it raises beyond the Ajna chakra, the vidhi is, as per the Shastras, within one complete tithi. That means within 1 fortnight, one attains the Videha Mukti. The body Kundalini cannot reside in the body anymore. Once it comes there, it liberates and then goes away. So it will goes away. No, we are just ordinary mortal, we just learn all this for fun and some enjoyment. We are not really ready to take that plunge, are we? So should I not do all this? No, you should do all this, because bringing to Ajna Chakram is the most important point, because there you become a Atma Jnani. We will see that, how it comes in. So here he says, you look at this lightning above this one. That means he is not talking about the Ajna Chakra, he is talking about the Sahasrara. The Sahasrara Chakra, that means he is seeing in his mind, he's seeing this light striking like a lightning on his head for a fraction of a second. When he get that, Atavyayam, ṣaṇṇāṁ, what do you get? That is tava, kalām. Kalām means, kala means many meaning. Kala means 1/16. Kala means moon. It's called 116 because 16 days of the moon is called the Kalā. The 16th day becomes a full moon, and then it goes away. So if you measure it in geometry, 116th is a Kalā. That's one meaning. Kalā also means kalai, the art, fine art you do. Aya kalai, say that in Tamil. It's a Kalā. The power expression of Shakti is Kalā. So Kalā Rupini is Amba. Shivam, the Nada Bindu Kaladi Namo Nama. Nadam is the Shiva's resonance. Bindu is the expression of Shakti as Amba. The Nadam and the Bindu, the Shiva's resonance and the Amba's power unite, you get Kalā. Kalā means creations, all creations. Understand? So here what he says, this is a very deep, profound part. We'll just go surface level right now. So he listens to, or he witnesses tava kalām, your, tava means your expression of creation, all your energy. See, we are trying to see the Shakti. We are trying to see the Parabrahma. But we cannot, right? Why we cannot? Don't answer me that because you are small and Brahman is big. That's the right answer, but not in this age and time. That's for the child to say. But we should say, because you cannot see the seer. If you see the Parabrahman as a light that is outside, that means your seeing is more powerful than what you saw. Is it not? Therefore, that which you cannot see is what you are seeking, and that's a seer. And that is paramāhlāda-laharīm. That is a bliss where there is no seer, seen experiences anymore. It is not, I saw an object of light. No. You are the light. If I am the light, if I don't see it, can I express it? No. Because you didn't see it. Can I express it? No. Why? There's nothing to express. So only silence is a possibility there. But before we do that, we jump up and down with a lot of knowledge. This is what he indicated here. So he gets tava kalām. This kalām is called Sadā Kalā. Sadā Kalā means samayāchara. This is Amba's very profound form of kama kalā. Why the kalā comes out? Why all this creation happens? Because there is a divine desire in the Brahman to express its power as Brahma Shakti. The Brahma Shakti as Ambal and Brahman as Shivam. In their union, all the kalas created. Here what you're seeing. So when the union, this is what we saw in the last mantra and 19th mantra as well. Kameshwara is Shivan with a Pullinganam. Ishwaraga, Shivan. Kameshwari is Parvati. So Kamakala, Kameshwari. Kamakala is the urge to create the desire of union. That is Kamakala Shakti. You understand? So Kamakala is the very first or the very last or the only will for everything. So now Bhagavan is asking you to contemplate not on the Parashakti, but that desire of Parashakti as Kamakala Rupini who caused everything else. In other words, again I say, look at the singer's intent to sing. That means I look at the singer, I look at his action, then I know what his intent is, right? Even the focus is to know the intent, you look at the form and do the contemplation. So we do the contemplation of Mahashakti. But our contemplative motive is to understand the power to create the Kamakala. So this is in the Sri Vidya, it's called Kamakala Rupini. So they put a statue for that also, either with sitting with Ambal, Shiva. You can see the right leg of the Shiva and the left leg of Ambal. Ambal's right leg and Shiva's left leg is united inside. Pictures will be there. So all this is just to give you an idea to hold. But Kamakala is not this physical form. It's not the physical union. It is not that. It is the very desire of creation. The point of singularity, we are transcending it. That is Kamakala. So when you are going there, the Buddha says that is like a lightning. So if you're not careful, you cannot catch it. It comes to you. So can I see that? He says, you can see it because you are a mahāntaḥ. You are a great person. Bhagavan says, why that person is a great person? mṛdita-mala-māyena manasā. mṛdita-mala-māyena. So your mind is removed of all malam and mayas. That means unblemished mind. So you can see the lightning of Kamakala, that means the Parabrahma Swarupam. Even, I say it with a lot of repetition because if I am seeing it, then it is not that end, isn't it? What is darshan means? I went to the temple and have darshan. What is darshan? We say some vision. I see something. But if you look at the actual meaning of the other meaning of darshan in Sanskrit means darshan means knowledge. Vedanta darshan, Sankhya darshan, Yoga darshan. So darshan means knowledge. So when I go to temple, I have the darshan of Venkateshwara. You haven't got Krishna darshan. Probably you have not. You have seen the statue of Venkateshwara, you saw this Alankara, you saw this Deepa Aratana, you paid £1,000 for that and you wait for 20 minutes, 2 hours and get a 20-second darshan, you come back. And you say, I got darshan. That's fine. But that is not meant by Bhagavad darshan. Bhagavad darshan means I understand the knowledge of the divinity. I understand the truth of the divinity. And what is the truth of the divinity? God tells you that the truth of divinity is already known to you. And to indicate that to you, that you know it, invariably, when you go to the temple, after paying a lot of money and standing in the queue, and when the screen is open, you go there, and Swami comes in front of you, what happens to you? You close your eyes without knowing it. Why is that? Because I see outside a darshan of a vigraham, which is important for me to trigger. A darshanam is inside my divya swarupam, paramanandam, paramāhlāda-laharīm. I know that. Of course, you and I are not capable of knowing it. And we come back and regret, look, I went there all the way, I closed my eyes and put the screen, I didn't see the darshan. So that darshan, if you want to have and retain it, to behold it, paśyantō, dhyāyantō, to hold that, your mind has to be pure. So this is what this sloka's word meaning. So the mahāntaḥ who actually goes and attains this kind of lightning darshan in his Atma puja, and thereafter he becomes a liberated soul in this world, Vedantam, alone the Advaita Vedantam, grants him the title of Jivan Mukta. In no other philosophy, no other schools of thought, Shaivam, Vaishnavam, Bhodam, Madhvacharya, all those Mahatmas, they don't cross the step to say that one can be a Jivan Muktaha, one can be a liberated person in this world itself. Because for them, the liberation means even the body-mind complex should be gone. But not like a mere death, but near unification with the Shiva. Well, we did not go there. So here we take a Jivan Muktaha. Why he calls it Jivan Muktaha? Muktaha means liberated. Liberated from where? So you say, no, Anna, I don't know why you talk about liberation. I never feel liberated. I don't get up in the morning and think I am imprisoned. Then you don't ask this question. Go and enjoy life. If you can be in that position forever, good for you. The moment you start thinking, why am I doing this? Why I have to do this again and again? Why am I trapped in this? All this thought, when it comes to you, that means you will start thinking about the real life journey. Am I this piece of body and mind just wandering around with different personalities all the time? Although I enjoy this, but not out of any distress, but out of curiosity, pure childlike curiosity. I want to know what happens to me. This is the curiosity that came to Narendranath to make him as Vivekananda. Bhagavan Ramana, somebody died. He said, okay, what is death? What happens to me? I may become nobody. Is it possible? How can I be nobody? So then he tried. So then there is a question in him that no, I am not going to die because I'm always eternal. The death is some release of an entrapment. So what is this entrapment? Entrapment is that I have a name called Venkataramana. I am supposed to wear this uniform to the school. I have to pay the tax to the school. I must do my homework. I must get married and I have children and I have to take care of them. So all this is an entrapment because in this journey, I don't think of myself. I don't have time to think of where am I going. So what do? Bhagavan had such a divine will, he can give up everything. And at the moment he went, somebody said Arunachalam, he got this rejuvenated knowledge and become a Jivan Mukta. That's fine. Some run away to Himalayas or somewhere, hide, but they still cannot cope with that and come back and get married, go through the touching. Some will say, the question came to my mind without me trying it. The answer should also come to my mind without I trying it. So I keep the question in the mind. I seek the answer in my mind, but I do what I have to do. That's why you and I are in the Grahastha-ashramam. For us, samsaram is no more a problem. For us, this job, husband, wife, money, it's not a problem. It's a play. Money comes, money goes. Some gives you awards, some give you a scolding. Doesn't matter. You just come through it. But because you carry the light is a question. Who am I? Where am I going? Because I think I am entrapped in this bubble of ignorance. So Muktaha is one who breaks this bubble. That is moksham. Mukta. So whenever you see moksham, if you imagine it is dying and go to some Vaikuntham or Kailasham or sitting in a big satsang with many punyatmas. Again, my punyam is so low, I'll be in the lowest ticket. I'll be the far away, can't see the stage of Mahavishnu. And this is after my death. Therefore, why should I read moksham? So anything about moksham, I don't read. If the Palasri says you get moksham, I don't want it. I want money, dhanadanyam, pashaputra labham. Also our acharyas give, Ashirvadam always like this, Shivoham, they won't say. Dhanadhanyam Pashyaputradam. So he is happy. I get cows and children and everything. Purposely, majority is being sidelined so that go and do your dharma. But some who says, look, I want to do it. So he becomes Jivan Mukta. Therefore, Bhagavad Pada's assertion, like Advaita's assertion, that one can be liberated, that is giving us the incentive, is it not? Yeah, any mukti is only after my death. It's not interesting. It's not enticing me. Because death is fearful to me right now. But if I say, no, you can become a liberated now with this body and mind, living in the same house in Harrow, London, then I say, how can I do that? That's why it says it is just to attain the knowledge. It's called Sivajnana Bhodam or Brahmajnanam. But knowledge is something you hold, but it has no effect on you. I know how to code in Python, but I have no computer, nothing. I can't do anything. I know how to cook. I know how to make jongri, but I don't have resources for it. So all the knowledge, jnanam, if it cannot be employed, if it cannot be a vijnanam, vijnanam is application of knowledge. If you're not going to have a vijnanam of it, I have no benefit of it. Therefore, Sivajnana Bodham. Shivam is Parabrahman. Jnanam is the knowledge about the Parabrahman. Shivam can be Atma, Atma Jnanam, Brahma Jnanam. All this is fine. But the Bhodam is the application of it and being in the niṣaṇṇāṁ of it. So that's what you have to do. So here, you become a Jivan Mukta. How does the Jivan Mukta looks like? This is the Arjuna's big question, Bhagavan uses the phrase, in Bhagavad Gita, you say, Upanishadsu, you say, Bhagavad Gita is Upanishad. When you read Bhagavad Gita, you get the same Soundaryalahari Bhashya's meaning, Veda's meaning. There he says, Sthita Prajna is Jivan Mukta. Sthitam means strong, Prajna means consciousness. Steadfast consciousness is thing. So Jivan Mukta is real. So in Sri Vidya, there is normally in Sri Vidya there are three different approaches: Hadi Vidya, Sadi Vidya, and Kadi Vidya. I'm going a little bit deeper. Vidya here becomes the upasana mantra. So this form I'm talking about, the lightning form, in Sri Chakra form, and all that, kayena vacha manasyentriyeva. So I need to use my body, mind, language, everything to be on the contemplation of it. And the mind is focusing on it, body is sitting erect on it. My thoughts are in this ambar. Words I say, what the mantra I say? The mantra is Ambar's mantra. It should be a bijakshram or a bijakshara aram, a galanda bijaksharas. There are 9 aksharas for Ambar. The 9 aksharas are, some are repeated again and then made into 15 or 16. They call Panchadashi mantra or Shodadashi mantra. So these mantras are nothing but power stones given in your hand, like a magnet, like a magnet is given to you. You don't know how the magnet, it looks ordinary, but it's got a potency there and it gives you some help. Same way, these mantras, if you hold on to it in the heart and recite it, along with this contemplation, along with everything else, it is a process going through. So this mantra, how to pronounce it, how to start, not like, in Arognam, Avakrognam, in same ragas, you can start in any column, any swara, sa, ni, ta, pa, ma. So I can start the thing from pa, for example. So you can still bring back to this raga. Same way in the mantra, if you start with the bijakshara, with sa, it is called Sadi Vidya. From Ha, therefore you know the bijakshana of Ha. They become a Hadi Vidya. Kha, Khadi Vidya. Why they are, we don't need to know all this. So among this, the Khadi Vidya is considered to be a supreme Vidya, but people argue if I say this. But some say that. Trishati, for example, is purely Khadi Vidya. Started with the Kahari, Kalyana, Rupi, all the started. So Khadi Vidya. So here, you can choose any of these Vidyas, and then you do this worship of the Ambal with this mantra, and then you get the thing. But I need to have pure heart. What is this? Because the Chaitanya Prakasham that you see, for that you need two important things. You know, the lighting is going to come. So you look carefully, and there's a doorbell comes in. You don't go and look at the doorbell because you will miss it. So what you do, your mind, your intellect is focused on it. You want only that attention. It's called Drada Buddhi. Your aircraft goes there, they don't think about it's Boeing or Airbus, what model. Buddhi has gone away. So Drada Buddhi means Egagram Buddhi must have. That you must have. But you also have to have the purity of the mind. What is the purity of the mind? In Shaiva Siddhantam, it gives it, it also operates a Shaktam. It's very conveniently they put it into three baskets. They call it Malam. Malam is also a Tamil word, a Sanskrit word. Malam means that you discard what you excrete, whatever is filth, what you don't need to own, don't need to touch. That's called Malam. But we got three Malams. So no matter how clean you are, there are Malams in you, in your body, in your mind, and intellect. So in the Shaiva Siddhantam, the first Malam is called Karma Malam or Karma Malam. That is the Malam because of your karmas, because of your karma vinas. So whatever you've done in the previous birth, so therefore it comes as what? Papa and Punya. The Papam and Punyam therefore gives you Sukham and Dukkham. So we are going back. The reason for that is because this little filth called Karma Palam is sitting in me. How does this Karma Palam come to me? The Karma Palam comes in because of Anava Malam. What is Anava Malam? It is the Malam of egoity, that I exist. Selfish thought. How come this becomes the cause for karma? Because the moment I say I exist, I am the person doing it, I am the one driving, I am the one yearning, I am the one instructing you, I am the one building this temple, I am the one writing all the books, I am the big boss. So every time when I do things, when I think a thing, when I say a thing, with the view of I say, I do, I think, then you take responsibility for this impact. As simple as that. I threw the stone, it hit the glass door broken. Somebody asked me, who threw the stone? I must say, I threw the stone. Well, you broke the glass, fix it. So when you have ownership of things, I cannot tell that, I may, in a practical life, I can say, look, I didn't throw, some boys threw. I can lie, right? But in front of God, there is no lie. Chitragupta is watching you, Chitragupta is who? Chitragupta. It's an accountant sitting somewhere in the heaven, writing in a big ledger. What do? No. Chitra means picture. Gupta means secret. Chitragupta means a secret picture that is in yourself itself. Every time you do a thing, say a thing, there is an imprint of a log history is created. It's a hash directly created. Cryptocurrency is created. A register is updated. Doesn't matter. He may be an evil person still. Unless you are a child. How come child doesn't remember? If child remember, that means already knows child exists with the I thought. I'm talking about a child that doesn't even know that she exists. That means when you don't have this ego of I, whatever you do, you are free from this. What a wonderful insight it is. I can do away with murder? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Why do you say that? That's what Krishna said to Arjuna. Stand up and fight. Your job is to destroy them. Arjuna, like you and I, said, no, Krishna, don't be silly. Killing is a sin. No. If you think you are killing, it's a sin. So he elevated him that level. Of course, we need to have a different lecture for that, but what I'm saying is, if you give up the anava malam, this is freedom, isn't it? I don't want to disappear. I want to do what I do. I want to go to temple every day, do some puja, sing a song, meet with friends. I want to lead a life like this. I am happy. This is my swargam, right? You can do that. But when you do that, if you may create more sins and papam and punya, you are bound. So I can do that if I do everything without an ego thought. That is anava. But then your question is, well, I understand karma because of anavam, egoity. How did the anavam comes in? How did I get the idea that I belong to the truth? That's because a Maya. Maya creates everyone, puts you in a darkness, and then you believe that you exist on your own. You get ajnanam as a result of Maya. Avidya. Avidya means not knowing the truth of yourself. That's why avidya, the remedy is Shri Vidya. Avidya, the opposite is Vidya. But not normal Vidya, Shri Vidya. Shri means the Brahman, Atma, Brahman. So avidya remedy is Shri Vidya. So if I need to remove all these three malas, I need to go to the root cause of it, which is avidya. So I need to remove the avidya. How do I remove the avidya? I need to have vidya. How do I do the vidya? Must understand what is vidya. Vidya involves karma upasana to purify your mind, jnana vicharam to, like we are doing right now, to purify our thought and intellect, and your abhyasa, your practice, your nishtha. That's what we need to do. So this mahāntaḥ are expected to do all these things. This in Patanjali is very important. In the Samyacharam, now Samyacharam is not like, this is in this marga, you don't need to build a big havan and do Agni Kundam, Homam. All that you don't need to do. This is nothing to do with this Bahirmukha Asha. This is all Andarmukha. So your mind is your havan. Your habis is your mantras. So you don't need any dravyam. You don't need to have millions of dollars to buy the ghees and saris and put in the fryer. Here you sit down yourself and you do all this. Therefore, your mind is to be the one that's purified. So in this Samayachara, therefore, there are few texts you must read, understand, learn. At the bottom level is Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Then you elevate, there you understand these so many concepts about the body, mind, yoga. Then you rise up and then you do this Mandukya Upanishad, Yoga Vasishtam. Those texts are very, very important. Then once you go rise up to that one, Then you come to Soundaryalahari, Tripuranda Rahasya. So what we are doing, Soundaryalahari, because it is the apex of this knowledge. So what do I know? I just touched, scratched the surface. I know nothing. But there's so many inside. But some Purvajana Punya will transact into this one. So, but I now go down to the bottom layer of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. There he says, Pancha Klesha. There are 5 klesha means afflictions to mind. There are 5 afflictions to your mind naturally exist, but you can remedy them by yoga margas. Yoga is not just standing upside down. That is one small warm-up for your body. Sthira asana. You should be able to sit for 10 minutes. To sit for 10 minutes completely, you need flexibility. Therefore, you do this hatha yoga, bending backwards, upward, downwards. All that you do so that your body becomes supple. You're able to sit for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Then you do the pranayama. Then you, like that it goes, Ashtanga yoga. There he says, Pancha Klesha. What are the 5 kleshas? Avidya, we talked about it now. That not knowing who I am. And because I don't know who I am, I think the body and mind is me. It's called asmita. What I call it, egoity. The pride, ahankara. So ahankara comes because of my avidya. Nobody told me who I am. Everybody said you are so-and-so's son and daughter. So, asmita. Because asmita means ahankaram. Ahankaram means mamakaram. Ahankara means I. Mamakara means my, mine, my wife, my child, my house. Because my house, your house is not important to me. Therefore, I like my house, I don't like your house, or even I hate your house. So, raga dvesham comes in. So, raga and dvesha. So, avidya, asmita means ahankaram, raga, dvesha. What happened with raga dvesham? Raga dvesham, I mean, like and dislikes, create a world for you which you were your bubble shell. All of us are living in this world. I don't go there, I don't like it. I go here, I like it. I like this person. So you create a little world. And if you look at the world, if you go in there and the world will be with friends, but you go deeper, you still have some enmities within friends. It's deeper, it goes in, it's only you. So only you have your own world. And you never want to give up that world. That's called abhinivesham. Abhinivesham means that you don't want to give up what you think is your real. That's why after Vedanta class, you were thoroughly taught about that reincarnation is real. After the death, you become somebody else. And you fully understand it. Imagine that you attain that next birth and become a spider. And I am very compassionate and say, oh, it's my friend. Oh, he became a spider, but he was a human being before. He doesn't want to be in a spider form anymore. Therefore, I'll hit this with a stone. I'll come to kill you, to liberate you from your spider form. And what do? You run away. You even bite me. Because I am taking away, getting into abhinivesham. Because when you take that birth, your past is forgotten. Avidya has come. Your body has assumed this body of a spider. So your liking and disliking has come through. I like to eat small insects. I hate human beings. And then if somebody is coming to hit me, abhinivesham. So this is called pancha klesham. So this all have to be removed. But the only way to remove is the soap that you need to use. Is yogis call it yoga, Vedantis call it jnana, and you have to do it. So when you do that, you attain the power mahāntaḥ. Okay? So a person attained like that is now worshipping the Ambal. And then with all these things when he do, he get this kind of a ṣaṇṇāṁ kamalānāṁ mahāpadmāṭavyāṁ. In the Adavi means forest, Mahāpadma means the supreme lotus. So thousands of petals in a lotus, and thousands of such lotuses in this forest. That means all my neurons, my above these things. Not physically, I'm just giving a pointer. And there Mahāpadma, on top of it is Ambal. But this side, just now I told you a morning when you are there, you are telling Videka Mukti. That's what the paramāhlāda-laharīm, that you become unbelievably, absolutely blissful you are ever. But there is some very important point hidden, which I think only when you go through tradition they will teach you. Because when you do the Vidya Upasana, when you come to Ajna Chakra, Ajna means Jnana, Jnana. That's why now we put the Kumkum or Vibhuti. This is a very important point. This is Ajna Chakram. But we know in the 6 chakras, between 2 chakras, there is a knot. You remember that? Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, Rudra Granthi. So the Granthi means knot. You unknot it to rise up. And I also explained to you before, the knot is not just an impediment to go up, but also a hole to go up. Suppose I rise up to my Vishuddhi Chakra, my Upasana. For some weeks I did not do, and I erred my behavior. So where do I fall? I don't fall down completely. I fall down to the next below knot. Therefore, I can rise up. When you're falling down in a rope, you're able to hold on to a knot in between. But if you remove all the knots, you come to the Ajna Chakra. There you first see this lightning. Now, what I'm saying is just for your imagination. So no guru can tell you, no teacher can teach you, show you. It's only you have to see it. But it appears to be what the scholars say, a feeling of seeing a lightning. I'm not talking about here, which the stotra starts. I'm talking about before that, in the process, somewhere here. You feel a lightning. It is just a bhavana. Some yoga schools, ask you to put a candle and then look at the candle all the time with open eyes. Your retina get burned down. Don't do such things, because it's not a physical form. There's nothing like this. I see a light, God has come to me. No. If you can see God as a light, it's not God. It's just an illusion. But as a step to progress, you have to have the imagination. So this, in Yoga Shastra, this lightning that comes here, called Saudhamani. Saudhamani means a light, particular branching lightning. Thunder comes in, a branch of lightning will come, right? It's called Saudhamani. The Saudhamani, Kshanika Saudhamani, they call it. Lightning in a very fraction of a second comes in here. This is your aha moment. For yogi, it is a lightning. For a jignasu, jnani, who is trying to attain knowledge, it is a new knowledge. Knowledge is light. It comes to you. Something comes to you, then you say, the problem resolved. I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am something beyond. I am not there yet, but I know this is not me. So you contained, I can't explain this, you have a state of affairs. That means you are already see that Kshanika Saudhamani. But then, if you persist, it's called Nididhyasana, Nishtha. If you persist on it, then you will see this light becomes Amba's Kalā, Sama Kalā. That's it, kalām. That means the Kalā, so it means you are seeing it, you are not anymore. This example, when you see it as a Sthira Saudhamani, in eternally lightning, I mean it is there. That is only symbolically say it is there to see. That means you become that lightning. Lightning, by definition, is something which you cannot see after some time. But I am saying it is a sthira Saudhamani. That means it's always an eternal light. That means nobody can see, but I can be the lightning. That means you become that. So in this one, sthira Saudhamani is a Jivan Muktaha who has seen the Dambal in the Sahasraram. But for us, the aspirants, even a Shinaka Saudhamani, even a very lightning, light lightning, a simple nanosecond, we see it here. That means we see it here in our Upasana, in the Jnana Vicharam, in awakening. Hey, how do I explain this, sir? Don't need to explain. How can I tell somebody else? Nobody will believe you. Nobody will listen to you. Nobody will understand it. You know, it's, hey, I ate this, it's very sweet. How sweet? Very, very sweet. Like a sugar? No, very sweet. Yeah, I think you are dreaming. They will go away. So there is no way you can explain this. Even though you want to explain it, you can't explain it. Enjoy it. No way you want to comprehend it because it is incomprehensible. No way you can hold on to it because it is shanikam. Although it goes away. Then if it goes away, then I'm not feeling that way. That means you have to go back to that practice. So whatever gave you that shanika Saudhamani, go back and try to create the same thing. That atmosphere, that ambience, that posture, that sitting, that guru, that satsang, that reading. Try to, of course, you need Daivanugraham, you need the Guru's blessings. You get it again. So here this Stotra says, if you get it because you are trying for it, that means you are already nirmalaha. You are out of these blemishes. Therefore, you are now fit to get this nididhyasana. We don't need to be afraid. It's not that we are going to end ourselves. We are going to be all fulfilling. So it is. Now you can see, I'm really touching the iceberg, tip of the iceberg of this, the whole big Soundaryalahari. So much is there. And we just somehow foolishly or childishly thought taking up the top of the pyramid, not going to the bottom. But anyway, that's the idea of this shloka. So that Sayujyam or Videka Mukti, to be honest, I mean, in Advaitam, there is no Sayujyam, there's no Krama Mukti, Have you given up smoking? I say, yeah, I used to smoke 20 packets a day. Now I do 2. Then you can't say you give up. Well, I give up 18. Okay. Then 1 packet. Then 10 cigarettes a day, 5 a day, 1 a day. And then I get Sayujyam. So this is called Krama Mukti, Samipyam. So it's fine. It's giving you a nice way to take it forward. So therefore we keep the concept that in my limited knowledge in Advaitam, Sayujyam is different. There's no Sayujyam. Mukti is just once. That is liberated. The very, very, very moment you have that experience translate to Anubhuti. There's no English word for Anubhuti. So the Anubhavam becomes Anubhuti. You become a liberate. Stop it here. taṭillēkhātanvīṁ tapana-śaśi-vaiśvānara-mayīm niṣaṇṇāṁ ṣaṇṇāmapyupari kamalānāṁ tava kalām mahāpadmāṭavyāṁ mṛdita-mala-māyena manasā mahāntaḥ paśyantō dadhati paramāhlāda-laharīm. Om Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityo ma amridam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Dastate Brahmarpanamastu.
Thank you so much.